What is up, everybody?
Hi,
I'm Courtney.
I'm Sean.
And we are Hill City Paranormal.
HCPZ.
AKA On the Other Side.
On the other side.
Yeah, I feel like you need like the Allstate guy to say that.
Want to use my James Earl Jones voice. You are now on the other side.
How's everybody doing tonight? This weather is insane in Virginia. If you're not in Virginia,
Y'all might lose this for about 5 minutes.
yeah, because like
if the power goes out, it takes about a minute for the generator to kick in. So
the thunder is thundering.
But we'll come back though. We'll be right back.
So Michelle Wilfong, the haunted apartment on YouTube. If you guys don't follow her, go give her.
Is that your name, the haunted apartment?
Yeah.
But we
on TikTok.
I follow it though. It's a very dope show.
Yep.
Isn't that a song? Marilyn Manson.
Paul said it's thundering there too.
Oh, stars.
And Paul is North Carolina Coastal Plains.
What's up, Paul?
Lost Souls, Emily, Chris Warner.
Paul's working on some pretty creative stuff. I'm not gonna put it out there. I'm not gonna put it out there because I don't know if he wants me to or not. But me and Paul kind of been chit chatting here and there. And Paul's, he's on to some good stuff here.
Speaking of creativity,
Lost Souls. What's up? How y'all doing? Y'all too.
Can you yell any louder while I'm talking?
Yeah, you sit next to a black dude, we talk loud.
Speaking of creativity.
There you go. You gotta put some bass in your voice.
Chris with Lost Souls has been working on some really cool little
that's another one working
with
on
his
some cool
3D
stuff.
printer.
I need to get my game up here.
Yeah, he's definitely making little ghost spirit pods. I think those are pretty crafty.
Yeah, I need to step my game up. Did I miss anybody?
Mama D in the house. Yes, Paul. Can't wait to see a finished product.
Paul also made some other cool stuff. Like I said, I ain't gonna put it out there. Paul keeps me updated though. Hey man, you're on to something though. Keep going. Keep going. I want to see what you come up with. I'm kind of getting people warm in case you go further
Virgil
with it.
from Manchester, England. And what up, dude?
What's up, Virgil? Good to see you. Yeah, Paul, I'm kind of warming people up in case you do decide to go further with what you're doing. You get hint, hint, wink, wink. You know what I'm trying to say. I'm all about that para-unity, brother. I like to see good stuff in this. What is this? We're not guiding airplanes here. What is this?
I was guiding traffic yesterday at work.
You were. You almost got hit.
No.
Amber you had your little pants on out there. I saw it. You had your high waters on.
Definitely scrub pants.
Mom, where do you see a Ghostbusters? It's not Ghostbusters, Mom.
Jason Voorhees.
Who's here?
Michael Myers. Nobody.
Our door shut.
We're being paranoid.
This is not Ghostbusters, Mom.
Yes. This weekend, before we get started on tonight's topic, Hill City Paranormal is teaming up with Lost Souls PI, and we are heading to the Fairy Plantation.
To the Fairy Plantation.
For those, Virgil, that's Mom. No.
Yeah, that's when you. We ain't gonna joke around with that one. That's my mother, Virgil.
Nope.
We ain't gonna play on that one, brother. But yeah,
but anyway, we are teaming up with Lost Souls this weekend. For those that don't follow our TikTok, all of our socials are the @ Hill City Ghosts, plural.
Ghosts.
Okay. I have been doing a haunted series on TikTok where I'm picking a location and I'm putting up some of the most haunted places that you or your team can go investigate. With a tidbit snippet, if you will, of history. So if you don't follow me on TikTok, I'm sorry, I just said me, like I'm so selfish. Yeah, it's all about me, guys.
It really is.
But if you don't follow us on TikTok, it's Hill City Ghosts. You could type in Hill City Paranormal. Find your next location for your team to go investigate. We have been very blessed to be able to investigate a lot of locations. And do a lot of really cool stuff over all the years that we've been doing this. Debbie Cushman, the hair and Mrs. Cushman are in the house. Yes, Paul, TikTok.
Let's talk about TikTok.
Virgil said he's going to send you a Manchester City hat. That would be cool.
Hey, send it to me. I would wear it.
Rock it on the podcast.
I will wear it on the show, and I will shout you out and say, hey, my good buddy Virgil from Manchester sent me. I don't got no hate for England. So
we don't have anything from England. So that would be the first thing from England that we have.
Send it to me. I'll wear it for sure.
Psychic medium Rhonda Harris in the house, a.k.a.
Hello, lovely.
A member of Fredericksburg Paranormal, a.k.a. co-host on... It's going to take me all night to list all the shows you're a co-host on, baby girl, but freaking awesome paranormal show on the Riff Nation, as well as every Sunday night, the Orion Effect. Rhonda.
I think she does that more than once, though. I want to say it's twice a week, right?
I don't know. Rhonda's everywhere.
But she's an awesome hostess as well.
Hostesses.
But hostess, that's the stuff. Shut up.
What?
Anyway, TikTok, I want to talk about that for a second. Our TikTok is the only place where we actually share some of our... I could have sworn I've seen you more than once a week. Maybe it's because I see you here too.
Oh, sorry.
Well, as much as Rhonda runs from me, Rhonda, her little feet get to running from me. As much as she runs from me, it's always good to see her more than once. So...
You need to see her
because I can't catch her. She's fast.
Rhonda,
she's like
I gave you a personal shout out. You know what it's about. Rhonda, and I am so proud of you, girl. So keep up the good work.
Rhonda's like a mythological creature. It's like when I see her, I'm like, it's Rhonda, and then she's gone.
She's like a puck wedgie.
But TikTok is like, one of the few places where we actually share some of our evidence. We don't typically share much of our evidence. We probably got 1,000 videos or more of evidence that we capture, but I will not, we don't share it except for TikTok. I was against TikTok for years. I was one of those people that were like, TikTok, man, I ain't TikTok.
Look, I'm telling you guys, social media is where it's at. As much as we want to, steer away from it and stuff like that, we as a society have become almost like independently reclusive.
Right.
Okay. So we have to network and have to socialize through social media. And, everything out there is going to social media right now. Social media and AI. I work in healthcare, and our doctors are going to dictation via AI.
That's scary, though.
And it is scary, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Doctors ain't worth a damn.
I've been on investigations before, and my phone will just randomly decide to be like, did you say what is my favorite color? And they give me some big historical description of colors.
Phones are scary.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what is going on? But yeah, we cannot steer away right now from social media, guys. If you know somebody, know a team that has a page, whether it be Facebook, TikTok, IG, now Twitter's known as X, things like that. Give them a like, give them a follow. It takes 2 seconds. 2 seconds, guys.
Yeah, so our TikTok is where if you want to see anything we capture, usually we like starting
We got you, Virgil.
We start a lot of stuff on TikTok. The orb versus dust argument.
Yep. Orb versus dust is one of the series that I do on TikTok. Right now I'm doing a haunted location series, like I said, where I'm picking, for those that are just tuning in, I'm picking a location or two. I did 2 last night because I had a request for the second one. So right now I'm in Gettysburg. So I'm in and out all over Gettysburg with historical locations that I have personally investigated, whether it's been from just the Sachs-covered bridge or,
What about the one you're scared of?
A haunted, you know what? We will talk about it. We will talk about it in a minute. In a minute.
When you're scared of. When you're scared to get out of the car on.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Scared of
Look, I don't know what the hell's in the damn bushes. Social media is for entertainment purposes only at times. Look, coworker came to me the other day. True story. Ma, you'll get a kick out of this. She said, hey, did you see on my Facebook the pictures of the baby that I delivered this weekend? And I said, no. I said, do you have them in your phone? And she said, we're friends on Facebook. I said, we are? I go to Facebook and she's a pending friend request.
I got about 400
Okay.
of those.
I am not accepting that friend request at all.
I got about 400.
At all. I have one coworker.
I think I'm at up to 400.
Coworker on my social media, and she was on my social media prior to me becoming a coworker. That's the only reason she's there. She was my nurse when I was going through my health issues, and we got close, and the rest is history. But
400.
The point is this. She asked me today, she said, "Hey, I realized that the friend request is just pending. How come you didn't accept it? Did you see it?" And I told her, I said, "I'm going to be completely honest with you." I said, "I cannot add you to my social media. I cannot add you to my social media because I post things not because they have to do with me. They may just have to do with you. Or I post them because they're funny as hell. I be having a ball on social media."
Absolutely.
My personal social media. Okay. Let me put emphasis on personal social media.
I get reckless on social media.
A lot of you guys have the pleasure of being a part of my personal social media. I am all over the place on Facebook.
We do get reckless on social media.
But again, like Mom said, it is for entertainment purposes only.
It's not for the faint of heart.
At all.
You can tell who knows us in real life because they stay on our Facebook.
Yeah. If you delete me and I see you in public, like I know why you
stand on business with that though. If you delete me off Facebook, then you deleted me in real life. I follow that. Like if you can't take what I say on Facebook, then whether I'm joking or not,
aren't going to be a friend.
Then we're not friends in real life. Because I might just say some reckless shit in real life.
Right.
That means that you can't handle me. So keep it moving.
But I want to jump right in, okay, guys? So
let's jump into it.
This past weekend, I'm going to give you guys, yes, Debbie, yes. And Debbie and Emily know us three, like this triangle, we be having a ball on this bitch.
Why am I left out?
Okay, because we
left out of everything.
Me, Debbie, and Emily have this like triangle of recklessness going on Facebook constantly, and I love it. Sean, y'all cold as a ghost.
Yeah, that's a good one, Mom.
Shock value. That's where it's at. Shock value. All right, but yeah, let me back it on up. So this past weekend,
scared ass.
I'll get there. I'll call myself out quick. This past weekend,
I'm not a woman.
Yeah, we have a triangle.
I identify as a woman.
A triangle.
Now.
Are you admitting on here that you're trans?
This day and time, I can identify as anything I want to, and y'all have to accept.
Well, no, the new one is you can identify as seasons.
Actually, let me not go there before we get canceled. Let me stop.
So I identify as something other than flash flood warnings.
Let me stop before we get canceled.
All right. Back it up. Let's be serious.
I don't want to offend nobody.
Let's be serious for a second.
Why you hit me?
This past weekend, we took an impromptu trip. I'm frozen. There we are. We took an impromptu trip to our favorite place, Gettysburg. Okay. We had no intention of investigating. That's a lie because we definitely put our equipment in the car.
We take our equipment everywhere, though.
But the sole purpose was, we've said it time and time again. Sean and I do Civil War reenacting. Both of us needed alterations after.
I'm supposed to wear my hat tonight.
After some, thank you, Ma. Thank you. Anyway.
It was a joke, Mom. It was a joke.
Anyway, we went up there for alterations on some of our Civil War clothing.
I am all man, baby. Okay.
That was the sole purpose of us going. We were supposed to take a day trip, and we left out early. He said if you identify, he can't send you the Manchester City cap anymore. Sorry. But anyway, all right. We were supposed to take a day trip, and we decided to leave out super early Saturday morning. We made a stop in Antietam because we wanted to investigate the Dunker Church. Every person on the East Coast was on that battlefield at that time. So that did not work out for us. So we went ahead and we just headed straight into Gettysburg. Upon arriving to our favorite, and I am going to give them a shameless plug right here on this podcast. One of the two favorite locations for us to stay which is the Inn at 1863. If I'm going to stay hotel, I'm going to stay Inn at 1863. If you have not stayed there, I highly recommend it. 1A, I have yet to meet a rude desk person, and that's super important to me.
Excellent customer service.
And 2B, every time I've ever walked in there, I've ran into somebody new, and they've all said, hey, you guys are Hill City Paranormal from Virginia, right? So, you follow me on TikTok.
They follow our TikTok.
You're an automatic big heart in my book. So we walked into the Inn at 1863, walked up to the desk. What just happened? I lost a whole host here, guys. Walked in, there were two young men at the desk, one in whom I recognized, the other one I did not. So first one says, immediately upon arrival, I hadn't even given my ID yet. He says, oh my God, I've got so much stuff to do. What the?
There we go. We're talking about Gettysburg. It's appropriate. Go ahead.
Can somebody send help?
And we're talking about Gettysburg.
Anyway, I'm going to pretend like this isn't happening next to me.
You like my hat?
You're missing your feather. Yeah, I'm trying. Ma, I don't know what's wrong with your son today. But anyway, so he says a lot of stuff has been happening. I need you to investigate. So what do real ghost hunters, or as we're known, ghost observers do? We say, hold on. We run out to the car, we get some equipment, and we do a mini investigation where they are claiming there are some things going on. We only pulled out, I think, 2 pieces of equipment to start and told him that we needed to spend some more time there, but we had some errands we had to run before stores closed, and we would be back. So he was like, perfect, because, such and such time is great. And so we leave, we run our errands, and we eat dinner. And during dinner, we decide, you know what? We're going to hop on a Paranormal Association. Let me cut my Wi-Fi off because the weather is really messing with our signal right now. Anyway, so I call up Spooky, aka Jolene, with Gettysburg Paranormal, and I purchase 2 tickets for a very late tour of their newest location, which is a battlefield homestead. We go back to the hotel, we get ourselves together, get dressed, and we go down and we begin our investigation in the ballroom at the hotel. And we had a few things, just a few, that were happening, but I could not chalk any of it up to paranormal. And that's just 100%. The 2 things that happened was my Mel REM, which was across the room, had been sitting stagnant, no noise whatsoever for almost an hour. And then all of a sudden it goes off insane. I say, if a particular spirit is there, can you let it go? Bam, it stops. Okay, weird. Made me kind of turn my head. I put some more pieces of equipment over there. None of it went off. Tried to engage with who they believe is a childlike spirit. No response. Got a couple EVPs. And then I was running Spirit Talker just for shits and giggles. I've steered away from Spirit Talker quite a bit, but I decided, I'm running out of questions. I'm running out of stuff. Let's pull it up. The phrases, my name is George and I'm in my 40s, come across Spirit Talker. Unbeknownst to us, there was a gentleman who was 44, 45 years old that passed away. So,
what was his name?
George. I just said that. There was a gentleman by the name of George who was 44, 45 years old that passed away there. So, that was pretty cool. Coincidence, really not sure. Did get one good EVP. So, then we go upstairs, we grab all of our equipment, and we head out to this 1 a.m. tour of the battlefield homestead. No, back it up. Okay, in between here. I completely missed a spot. So when we got done investigating, we had about 2 hours before we jumped on our 1 a.m. tour. We decided to head to the infamous Sachs Bridge and Eisenhower Bridge, aka Suicide Bridge. Of course, we get to Sachs Bridge. I completely forget it's summertime and it's a Saturday night and it is a total drunk hangout spot. For those that have not been there in several years, the best time to go to Sachs Bridge is between 3 and 5 a.m. because that's when all the kids get tired and go home to go night-night. So Sachs Bridge was a no-go for us. I counted 22 cars, I think, out there or something like that. So we headed on over to the Eisenhower Bridge. Excuse me. The Eisenhower Bridge. I don't like it. It scares me. I don't know what the hell's on the other side of that bridge. Something is going to grab my ankles. I don't know what's going to hop out of the bush.
Nothing.
It's dark. It's creepy. There's something on the other side of the bridge. For those that have been to Eisenhower Bridge, there is something out there. You hear me?
There's nothing out there but cats.
I see it looking at me. It's looking at me.
It's cats.
There was no cats. I didn't even see the cats.
And water.
It's over there. See? Paul, thank you. There's something in the woods. I'm trying to tell you.
There's nothing out there but cats.
Check this out.
And an old man.
No, the cats aren't there anymore. They all were picked up. But, and I'll get to all these. Why the hell are you wearing the cat? New York City mom, wife, and teacher wants to know. Why are you wearing the hat?
I'm wearing the hat because we're talking about Gettysburg.
Okay. Paul, thank you for co-signing me right now. There is something across that bridge that is looking at me. I see you see me across the bridge. With that being said, I have challenged myself in the recent 6 months to walk to the other side of the bridge with other people. Am I walking over there by myself? Hell to the no. No. Not happening.
I walked over there by myself.
I don't care. You didn't. You walked towards the end of the bridge, but you never
stopped me. You grabbed me and told me not to go any further.
I told him he was walking too far away.
And grabbed me.
Okay.
You grabbed me.
See? Look. Something's across the bridge. There is something over there.
Me, you, and John Sullivan walked all the way to halfway to Sachs Bridge.
I'm gonna tell you why we walked there. There was probably 15 other people on the bridge. I could hear. I was with other people. I was good. Am I going over there by myself?
And hello.
Hell no.
And hello, NYC mom, life teacher.
Life teacher.
Mom, wife teacher. Sorry.
Wife and teacher. She's a mom, a wife, and a teacher.
I got my glasses on.
Okay,
hello,
we're going to get to all the comments once I finish my little summary. So, while we're on the bridge, absolutely not one single solitary thing is going on. We've heard rumors of cars and vehicles being affected.
That did happen.
So, I'm standing there, back is to the car. I don't know why my back is to the car, but all of a sudden I hear my car lock and unlock.
That did happen.
I could have come the hell out my skin, y'all. You understand me?
Can't explain that.
Something's in the car now. So now I've got something all the way over there and something all the way behind me that's going to get me. So I start snapping pictures. Nothing. I'm not capturing anything on photo. So I chalk it up to a coincidence. I make sure like I'm not hitting my key fob, whatever. Car keeps unlocking and locking.
That was weird.
Click, 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 click. I'm like, oh my God. So the ghost is now going to drive my car in my mind, run me over with it, and drag me to the other side of the bridge where these eyes are staring at me.
No eyes.
In my eyes, this is what's going on.
This time, there were no eyes. There was eyes the time before.
There was no eyes, but I don't care. Once I saw the eyes the first time, that tells me there's something over there. It's dark. I don't like it. Paul said, yes, there is. I saw it. He got growled at by something with eyes in the bushes to the left as you're walking towards the opening that looked to be a field. Check this out, Paul. I'm about to corroborate and co-sign your comment. Okay, Leah, Courtney, I don't blame you. No, we're not going into the dark. If something is going to get me, I run. No picture shall be taken. Look, I needed to know. I'm going to get them all. I'm going to get them all. Okay, I've got some all the way over here.
Even further up.
D obviously has the oh my God. Okay. Been going to Gettysburg 4 years plus, and I kind of know the spots. Cushman, I know that. Oh yeah, that was already it. Okay. No help for him. Yeah, I know, Carrie. There is no help for Sean. We don't know what the hell's going on. Is that the musician Prince symbol on your hat? No, that's a bugle.
That's an infantry symbol, Mom. Infantry.
And Leah, hi, honey. Hi.
Hey, Leah.
Boy George still around. I mean, the singer? Isn't he a singer, Boy George?
Yeah.
Chuck and Carrie Whitby, other members of Hill City Paranormal. Hello, hello, hello.
They were on the bridge with us one night. I'm going to talk about the bridge here in a second.
Okay, so then I'm kind of, we're skipping around here. Sean, did you drag Court when she grabbed you?
Yes. Yes, I was determined to walk to the other side of the bridge.
Francisco, no. I feel like if I was eating gummies, I would have been a lot more calm.
And Virgil said this is a cool hat, by the way. If y'all wondering why, Howie, I'm tipping my top hat back at you, brother.
Virgil, we're not trolling with Mom now, all right? You've been warned. John Sullivan, Fredericksburg Paranormal, I'm getting ready to talk about you. Okay? So.
What's up, John Sullivan?
Really heard a voice in the kitchen, so I checked. It was my wife's Alexa Echo Netflix show. Oh my God, Alexa's gotten me like that. Okay. Hi, Howie. He's tipping a hat back at you. When you mentioned George. Yeah, the ghost name was George. All right, so.
For those of y'all wondering, this is an infantry logo.
Yep, I'm getting ready to talk about you, John.
And I'm wearing it because we're talking about Gettysburg.
With that being said, have I been to the other side of the suicide bridge? Yes, with John Sullivan, Sean, and Naya was with us.
Yeah, that's right.
And when we went, we walked all the way up the trail to the 2 concrete pillars, and we proceeded to do an investigation there. While we were there, we audibly heard footsteps walking up through the woods, and then they stopped at the trail. So that was one thing that happened during that investigation. So do I 100% believe that there is something on the other side of the Eisenhower Bridge? Yes.
Your shirt got pulled that night.
Yes, and my shirt got pulled. Again, if you don't follow me on TikTok, there are a lot of reports of anything from vehicles being messed with, phantom cannon fire being heard. There is several reports of a dark entity across the bridge that jumps out at people and grabs people. There is a lot of legends that surround that bridge. But the one thing that I thought was really interesting when researching the Eisenhower Bridge is there is no documented reports of any suicide.
That's urban legends.
This is an urban legend, guys. But the bridge that should be accurately called the Suicide Bridge is Sachs Bridge. And again, if you want to learn more about that, follow me on TikTok. So we realized briefly, that we're really just not getting a whole lot. Yeah, the car is getting screwed with a little bit. But there, as far as equipment, EVPs, I mean, God, Sean must have taken 10 EVPs out there, nothing. So we were running out of time. We proceed to get in the car and go jump on this 1 a.m. tour. Our host's name was Dawn. Mm-hmm. And we met her at the Museum of Haunted Objects, and we proceeded to the Battlefield Homestead. The homestead itself was built on actual battlefield ground where there were casualties. It was built in the 50s. It was formerly, ironically, a ghost hunting equipment store. And there was an apartment upstairs that I believe somebody died in or something. Allegedly. So we pull up. There's the previous group is investigating. They're hyped up. It was another private team from Stokes County, North Carolina. Okay. And they're hyped up. Somebody threw a picture at one of their team members, like it flew across a wall, bunked her in the head, all kind of EVPs, every piece of their equipment's going off. This place is, undoubtedly haunted. Guys. The The topic for tonight is discouragements. We get to the battlefield homestead after we hear all these hyped up stories. Now we're hyped up. We get into this thing. We set up all of our equipment, everything we got. We got a new motion detector from the Enigmacons, and we set it up in an opposite room. It is ridiculously loud, and I'll go into how that scared the hell out of me on the bridge, and how that same motion detector scared the hell out of somebody else sitting right here in the battlefield homestead. The motion detector is ridiculously loud. You forget it's there, and then you roll up on it, and it's like a storm siren. It's insane. So, long story short, I put my REM pod up in the most haunted room, right? REM pod starts going insane. Immediately debunked. I got something wrong with my REM pod. Immediately put it away, packed it up, and didn't pull it out again. Grabbed Sean's REM pod, no activity. Not a single cat ball. Sean probably took somewhere in the two. I mean, we tried like hell to get an EVP. We moved to every square foot of this place and nothing. Not one single solitary nothing. So towards the end of the 2-hour investigation that we were allotted, we 1A packed it up, wrapped it up early. But 2B, I was falling the hell asleep. Dead asleep. Now, there was one strange occurrence that happened while we were there. Am I chalking it up to paranormal? I don't know. But some form of water. Now, mind you, the water's off in this place. Okay. Every sink, every toilet, everything is taped off with a big sign that says, do not cut on the water. Blase blah, due to ordinance, whatever. And a sink of some sort. We were downstairs, was running upstairs. So I'm thinking, okay, well, if a spirit walked through, this loud ass motion detector would have got it because I left it upstairs. So I go to the bottom of the stairs and I hear the water running. I walked up the stairs, got the rest of my equipment because I knew I was getting ready to pack it up. And they start hollering from downstairs that the water cut off. So, paranormal coincidence, not sure. So I'm going to ask you guys that are in the comments, have you ever been super hyped for an investigation and you gave it your all? You're in there, you're throwing everything you got at every spirit that you heard was here and maybe some that you didn't know were there, and didn't nothing happen? I need to know. Let's see. Yes, Virgil. It's okay. Thank you for the apology. Yvette, Haunting Angels. Hi, hi.
Shout out Haunting Angels.
Francisco said, see, the experience is good because when you do experience something real, shit will get real quick.
I'm going to talk about that in just a second.
Exactly. We're going there. Emily, I know you have. It is discouraging, guys. I'm going to say it. It's discouraging. And when you hop on a public and you pay the amount of prices that, or the amount of money that these certain agencies are charging for their tickets, and you realize that you should have just ripped up $100 bill into tiny shreds and flushed it straight down the toilet, because that's exactly what it felt like, right? It's discouraging.
Or is it?
Sean is going to shed a different light on this. Floor is yours, sir.
Well, the question is it discouraging?
Yes.
I don't think it's discouraging, because you spend hundreds, thousands, a lot of money on equipment. Here lately, I've had a lot of great experiences with investigations. And yes, Virgil, you can ask a serious question. Go ahead and type it in the comments. And yes, Howie, I'm going there too. You spend a lot of money on equipment. And here lately, I've been on a hot streak with investigations, and what I found, great responses to my equipment. So good of responses to the equipment I've been using that I've started to question my equipment. I started to wonder, is my equipment malfunctioning because of the amount of responses I've been getting with it, even down to the equipment that I rely on and trust the most, aka the Tri-Field, the EDI box, the DR60. I've been getting so many responses on my DR60 and my EDI box with the geofoam that I've been questioning myself, saying, is my equipment malfunctioning? Prior to this last investigation, we were just on one a couple hours earlier where equipment was working. My GS2 laser grid was picking up cold spots. My EDI box, the geophone was going off. The K2 that's on the box was going off. So I was questioning, does my equipment work? When I got to this last house, none of my equipment did anything, not so much as a noise on my recorder. So I turned my negative thinking to positive, and it let me know that if there's no activity, my equipment does not work at all, which gave me a sigh of relief on my past investigations that maybe there was something messing with my equipment on those investigations. So was it a complete waste? In my opinion, no. It was a great thing to have no activity because that let me know that my equipment was working. Now, some of you may be sitting back saying that's bullshit. If I'm paying money, I want every REM pod, every K2, everything I have to go off. And yes, that's what we look for. That's the thrill we're seeking. However, if every investigation we go on, something's happening with our equipment, how do we know if our equipment is working properly? How do we know if what we're getting is real evidence? What we're seeking in this field is the truth. How will we know we're getting the truth if everything is happening all the time? You know, I watched a whole video where someone debunked. Hello.
Eddie and Jen, hi.
Eddie and Jen, welcome. Thanks for joining us. But if we are out and we're investigating, and every single time we go out, that DR60 is making a noise. I watched a video on YouTube where someone attempted to debunk the DR60 and said it constantly makes noises, even in unhaunted locations. And I started to believe that theory until this past weekend where we went in that house where none of my other equipment was making noises and that DR60 was completely silent. That let me further know that, hey, my DR60 is working properly when I'm getting a certain response. So we have to take our...
I'm getting to you, John. I'm going to read your comment here in a second.
We have to take these investigations where we're not getting nothing and redirect our thinking to, not all the time, the house could have been haunted. There could have been spirits there. It's not just messing with our equipment, but we also have to take into a fact that if our equipment is not getting something, is it functioning properly? And that's the biggest thing that I like to see. I like to know that, okay, so if my GS2 is picking up a cold spot, is that functioning properly? And it actually gave me a huge sigh of relief because the last few investigations I've been on, something has happened at each one I've been on with my equipment. So it changed my whole way of thinking. It changed several theories I have, and it's helped me grow that much further, having an investigation where everything's completely quiet.
So I'm going to read John's comment, and then I'm going to touch on that. I'm going to kind of piggyback off that. Okay, Gettysburg. 52,000 killed men and boys, along with the 19,000 horses. All this in 3 days. The townspeople talk about the history, the tragedy of it all. Talk and discuss EVP and discuss those 3 days only, and not to mention 2 years to remove bodies, and not to mention the homes that were taken as hospitals along with field tents. Gettysburg is electric.
Absolutely.
Do you think, and this is a question for everybody in here, and Virgil, I see your comment. I will get to it in a moment. Do you think that spirits can be reprogrammed? There's a reason why I'm asking this question. I'm going to let you answer it.
And not to mention the wars that were fought before Gettysburg.
Okay, but do you think that spirits can be reprogrammed, much like humans, right? It's all psychological. You can take a human from birth on up and you raise them a specific way. They've now been programmed, so to speak, to function that way. Okay. They've done it with lab rats. They've done it with humans in, psych facilities and things like that. It's like deconditioning and conditioning. Okay. Can spirits also be conditioned? And the reason I'm asking that is because anybody who has been to Gettysburg, the entire town shuts down at a specific time. Okay. It's like you have got to get to the convenience store before 9 p.m. or you are not getting snacks.
Let's go to Sheets.
Like, unless you drive all the way to Sheets. Okay. And I'm talking about the actual town of Gettysburg. 90% of the retail stores, if not 100%, close around 6 or 7. You've got a few straggling restaurant, aka bars, that are open on the later spectrum. But the reason why I'm asking this is because I have noticed the dozen or more times that I've been to Gettysburg, if I hop on a public or I go somewhere between the hours of like 8 and 10 p.m., I will get evidence. If I am somewhere trying to investigate on a late night tour, which I prefer, around like midnight, 1 o'clock, something like that, it is, for lack of better words, dead.
I'm gonna say no.
You don't think it has anything to do with the spirits being conditioned?
Because when we heard that Phantom Cannon Fire, it was like 5 a.m.
But is that would be residual?
Right. So at that point, it's not conditioned. We've gotten evidence past certain times before.
Hey, Sam. I mean, I'm just curious. I don't know.
And my opinion is no.
This is completely like opinion based. I don't know. I notice patterns. The topic this week, Sam, is discouragements and disappointment while on investigations. You won't always get evidence. Sometimes you will. Sometimes you won't. It's discouraging. It sucks. And it sucks, especially when you pay money to do it. Okay. So let me pop back up here and address Virgil quickly. My girl took her life last year. The question is, why does she come back even in my dreams? My mom died 20 years ago and she doesn't. I'm going to say, Virgil, that it has to do with connection. My mother passed away in 2010 and she has never come to me, not one single solitary time. My brother passed away in 2015 and he has never once come to me in any Estes session, through any investigation, any of my equipment, any dreams, anything.
Or she could be coming back. It's just not the way that you envision her coming back.
That could be.
There might be other signs of her being around you. It might not be what you're looking for.
That's a good point. Good point there. That helps.
A lot of people are looking for voices or dreams or visual signs, but you're not looking at other things. So try paying closer attention to surroundings that could be signs of her being there.
And if you're looking for a good book, you can always get on Amazon and you can look up what is that author's name? I'm blanking on her freaking name right now.
Yeah, we had her on the show
right there.
one time.
Her book is right there. Give me a second. I'm blanking on it. But she has Signs from Beyond on Amazon. Anyway, Eddie and Jen said, I think, in my opinion, in many religious or esoteric, I almost said something else, traditions, spirits are considered autonomous beings with their own will and essence. Good point. That is a very good point.
Yeah.
Autonomous beings.
Yeah.
And I definitely almost said eccentric instead of esoteric. Let's see. Ozzy says he gets headaches when he visits where someone has passed. Oz may be a sensitive.
Very much so.
No. My daddy visited me in a dream the night before I found out he had passed. It was 2 nights after he had passed. That's interesting. Loved ones visiting you in your dreams. I will personally, if you guys are interested, hold a whole podcast on loved ones visiting in your dreams. I was for many, 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 many years into dream interpretation. Studied it in school, had books, wrote down logs of every one of my dreams. And the craziest thing that I have come to realize through the years is I don't know if when you get older, you just kind of like don't dream or you stop remembering your dreams, but probably over the course of the past 5 years, I wake up and I sit for a second and I'm like, did I have a dream? I don't remember if I did. So I don't know. But these aren't reprogramming in a software sense. They're more like negotiation or persuasion. I love when comments make me think.
Yeah, we definitely got to do some thinking on that one.
Not reprogramming in a software sense, more like negotiation. I like that.
Well, I mean,
I like
persuasion,
that.
definitely, like if you're offering tobacco or alcohol and they touch the REM pod, or, that's negotiation and persuasion, so to speak. We use that tactic from time to time, or
Like a tit for tat.
or your cigarettes, REM pod.
Mm-hmm. Maybe interview a medical examiner for interesting events.
Definitely. I would love to.
Read above what I said also. The comment about reprogramming or the one about which comment? In many religious or esoteric traditions, spirits are considered autonomous beings with their own will and essence. But these aren't reprogramming in a software sense. They're more like negotiation or persuasion. Now it flows. Got it. I'm going to do some digging on that. I really want to do some research and find out if it is reprogramming or if it's more of, like you said, negotiation or persuasion. That's definitely food for thought, for sure. But I mean, when it comes to Gettysburg, though, I mean, that's just my personal experience. It might not be anybody else's experience. You guys might go out there and, I can't say, here I am. I done got to lying on the podcast. I can't say that I've never gotten evidence after like 12 or 1 because Sachs Bridge, when we were out there with Emily, when we were out there with John and everybody else, you guys, like, stuff was going off left and right.
Yeah.
Things were happening left and right.
I mean, the whole theme is discouragement, during investigations. And again, after this weekend, that last investigation we were on, I will say that I won't be discouraged moving forward, especially after, at first I was, and I was really falling asleep. But at first I was, but then it was a sign of relief.
Yes.
But someone was watching you in the room. Yes.
Somebody's watching me across the bridge. Y'all think I'm crazy.
It was a cat.
Look.
It was a cat. But I will say that I will not feel discouraged anymore because it lets me know that the tools that I'm using is working the way it's supposed to.
All right. At Francisco, that's a very good point. This affects many people in the field. Trained thought. We do see it a lot. Yes.
Yeah, we do. How you're right on that one. I usually say I can usually walk into a room or a building. And
no, not this time.
We have before.
Yes.
A lot, actually.
That cat tried to get my ankles, y'all. I'm trying to tell you.
That's the one time I actually got scared at the bridge was a cat. We got to the bridge one night. I had to, I don't know what the correct word to say is on a podcast. I had to pee really bad.
I mean, just say it. He had to pee.
It was terrible.
And guess what?
I had to go.
Something popped out of the bushes. See? That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Things would be popping out.
It didn't pop out of the bush, but, I had to go.
It was rustling around.
So I found a tree. Next thing you know, something started moving and scared the hell out of me.
That's funny.
That was the only time I got scared at the bridge. But Courtney's always scared at the bridge.
I don't like the dark, y'all. I am a paranormal investigator who does not like the dark. There, I
honestly think the reason why Courtney's scared at the bridge is it's up here.
It might be, but there's something over there that is ready to get me.
She's not scared when it's a big group. It's just when it's just us two. That's when she's scared.
Yes, Howie. I know you tuned in a little bit late, but yes, Eisenhower Bridge, aka known as the Suicide Bridge, but actually has not one single documented suicide that happened on the bridge. I'll give you guys
Howie said it best, the amount of animal suicide.
I mean, they might have jumped off the bridge into the water and drowned. I don't know.
That bridge wasn't even there during the Civil War.
The bridge was not even there during the Civil War. Okay, so the bridge was erected, and the only two solid documented deaths that happened on the bridge was a wagon accident where a horse had rolled its ankle and sustained an injury so bad they shot the horse right dead smack there in the middle of the bridge. Had to put him down. And then 2, a car accident happened on the bridge where I believe 2 people died in the car accident. Those are the only documented deaths that happened on the physical structure. Now, with that being said, the river that runs, or creek, or whatever you want to call it, that runs underneath Eisenhower and Sachs Bridge, also known as Willoughby Run, during the Civil War, it was rumored that so much blood was shed that Willoughby Run actually ran red. Was there soldiers that crossed through that waterway? Yes. So, yes. Michelle, I sleep with the nightlight on. Just saying. Michelle, I'm with you. I have to have a TV on to go to sleep.
Keeps me up.
Yes, Ma. The cat popped out of the bush.
Cat popped out of the bush.
Found a tree.
I don't know why y'all so scared of the bridge, though. It's
like you said, I think it might be psychological.
It's dark.
It might be, but I be seeing shit in the dark. Okay.
Sachs Bridge. We've had a little activity there. The most activity was when John Sullivan was with us.
Now, I've been on Eisenhower Bridge, and my investigative side and my ghost hunting side are 2 different sides. Let me explain. So my investigative side comes out when a piece of equipment or some kind of evidence happens, and then I immediately spring into action to figure out what living.
Spring into action.
Yes. Boom. Spring into action. Investigation. Gotta go.
Stance?
I do. I got a whole stance. Okay. I want to know what set that off. What environmental factor affected that piece of equipment, or what caused that to go off. Okay. Then I've got my ghost hunting side where I'm like, ooh, the equipment went off. It has to be a ghost. Can you touch the REM pod? Sean loves to make fun of me when I say that. Okay. We 3 of us were on Eisenhower Bridge, 2:00 in the morning. Boom! Phantom cannon fire. There's an explanation. My investigative side popped in. I loaded everybody in the vehicle, and I went looking for the farmer that might have shot a coyote trying to attack his livestock.
With a black powder cannon?
Okay. I don't care. He might have a big-ass cannon. Maybe the coyote's a big-ass coyote. I don't know.
It's shot with a cannon, though.
I drove all the way up the road looking for some kind of explanation for a cloud of smoke or something. I did a bunch of research to find out if maybe there was some reenactments, because, we've been on a pretty crazy reenactment. Cedar Creek, the Union got completely drunk and they were firing off their cannons at 11 o'clock at night. Okay. So I'm looking for a logical explanation to this phantom cannon fire. When I was unable to place logic with the evidence, that's when my ghost hunting side popped in. That's when I was like, my aha moment. That was the phantom cannon fire everybody keeps talking about. I had never heard it in all these years. Never heard it. So that was cool. Let's see. Howie says, hey, Mama D, by the way. Do you know how many cities in the U.S. alone has a suicide bridge? Eddie and Jen, a bunch, along with Route 666. Everywhere. We did on our Spotify we have parts 1 and 2 of Urban Legends, and I believe we include like Suicide Bridge and Route 666. Unbeknownst to a lot of people, for those that are just tuning in, the actual bridge in Gettysburg that has documented suicides on it is Sachs Bridge. But they cannot take the name Sachs Bridge away from Suicide Bridge. It's got to be 2 separate bridges, right? So, Virgil wants to know what exactly popped out of your bush.
Not answer this question.
There is a place where they document deceased bodies in a field for science. Google it. Saw it in a documentary. That would be interesting. Huh. Like the bodies are in the field, or like are they like dissecting them and researching them in the field? Like what's the name of the documentary?
The field for science, like the science field, I think is what he's talking about.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm thinking like a field, like with grass. Like take up like Children of the Corn.
No.
All right. They put a cage over the bodies and yes, they do. See, in a field, they put a cage over the bodies and document the decomposition.
Not in an actual field.
Can you please clarify that, Francisco? Is it in an actual field?
No.
Like a field of grass?
What's your natural hair color?
Clear. The war is still going on for those that are still fighting. John, I believe that.
Yes, I do very much believe that. Howie talked about one time where he saw a soldier running near Sachs Bridge. Why would a soldier be running?
And we've been down to Sachs Bridge, guys, and we have actually heard horses running across the creek. Like you heard the like click clack, the hoof beats on the concrete, and then splash, 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 splash. That's my demonstration. Isn't that cute?
Splash, splash, splash,
splash, splash, splash, splash through the creek. And then you heard them like coming up the bank, and then they just vanished. It is a field, grassy, gated area outside. It's called the Body Farm.
I bet that stinks really bad.
Yeah.
But I don't think that you would get much paranormal out of that because your body is just your shell. Spirit leaves the body.
But what if your spirit's still attached to the body that they drag out to the field and then cage it up and document your decomposition? Look, I'd be a pissed off spirit. I'd be standing there looking at them like, are you serious? You're just going to stand here staring at my body? Like,
I don't think a spirit attaches to the body once you die, though. I think...
Well, then explain the cages that were put over dead bodies back in the day if they were accused of like being a witch or a vampire to contain.
That's because when you are a witch or a vampire, the body still rises. The spirit's still in the body. They never die.
All right, let's see. All right, Eddie and Jen know how many cities have a suicide bridge. Pasadena, California, San Francisco, California, Seattle, Washington, Portland, Oregon, Washington, D.C., Austin, Texas, Nashville, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
You got to add Forest, Virginia.
And Buffalo, New York. We have a suicide bridge?
That's what Route 666?
Oh, yeah, on 666, yeah. Yeah. Yep, Lynchburg, Virginia. Well, Forest, Virginia.
Yeah, Forest, Virginia has one, too.
You know, but very rarely.
Every city in the United States has one.
Now, I'm going to go through those... Guys,
we need to reinvestigate that bridge. And Lost Souls, Chuck and Karen was with us.
You mean during a meteor shower?
Where I got accused of screaming? Ah! I didn't scream like that. I said, look, there's a meteor in the sky.
Oh.
I was like, oh, no.
Anyway, Eddie and Jen, I do want to research those because I want to know how many of those actually have documented suicides on them. So I'm going to go back. Chuck said there's one in Secretary, Maryland as well. So yeah, suicide bridge all over the place. If somebody goes out there and unalives themselves, okay.
We didn't say suicide like 500 times.
Well, no, you can't say the K word themselves. So unalive themselves.
Right, we are on YouTube.
If somebody goes out there, automatically it's dubbed the suicide bridge. Okay, John, therefore you can't change history by negotiating and changing thoughts and convincing the change. So John challenging the previous comment about persuasion and negotiation. Good points. I love it. I love, love, love it. Those are just the more famous cities because our hometown of Akron, Ohio also has a suicide bridge. Now, for those that
Looks like we need to go to Ohio.
For those that don't know, before we wrap up this show, and we'll definitely like readdress this topic in the near future, this weekend we're heading to the Ferry Plantation, joined by Lost Souls PI. Last time we were there, it was non-stop activity. I mean, jump scares, running out of rooms, knocking, sequences being answered.
That was the first time I seen
audible
give
voices.
me some actual evidence.
Like, I mean, it was a hopping night. So I'm curious to see how this time goes a year later.
Yeah.
But before everybody gets off here, I want everybody to take 5 seconds, literally 5 seconds out of your day. Eddie and Jen, the vlogs, and then some on YouTube. Give them a sub. You've got Paul Fowler on YouTube, North Carolina Coastal Plains Paranormal, Francisco on YouTube. Just take a minute. Everybody in our chat today, just give them a sub if they're on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. Give them a follow, a like. We promote nothing but Para-Unity.
That's right.
On here. It takes 5 seconds. Like and follow. Anybody who likes and follows us, I do my damnedest to follow back. So TikTok, if I see you followed me on TikTok,
you're getting on here. You like my hat?
Follow back. Yes, Chuck slamming shutters.
Will you admit you like my?
Yes, Michelle Wilfong, haunted apartment. Keep the comments coming because y'all are helping this.
Will you admit you like my hat on here?
Our channel, Francisco, is Hill City Paranormal. Follow Rift Nation Network. I like your hat.
What's it called? Let's check your Civil War history. What's it called?
Shit, Hardy hat.
Oh, she pays attention.
All right. If we're not doing anything this Sunday, we can stop by and visit the podcast. 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Eddie and Jen, the vlogs, and then some will be live on YouTube. Y'all give them a follow to their podcast. 8 p.m. Central.
I'm gonna write that down.
Time.
I'm gonna write that down. We will stop by and give y'all a visit.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes. I'm writing it down now. 8 p.m. Central Time. For those that don't know, that's 1 hour behind Eastern Time. Okay? 1 hour behind Eastern Time, y'all. What time is it in Manchester, England? Let's figure that out. Thank you, Emily, and I will see you on Saturday, love. My long-lost cousin.
I'm wearing the hat during this investigation.
Well.
Don't hate on my Hardy hat.
Eddie and Jen, much love.
We appreciate
always.
that. We appreciate that, yo. Thank you.
We love y'all.
We appreciate everybody that stays and watches our chat. We're not the most exciting, I know, but we try to keep it real. We try to talk about any and everything. I know we don't get into don't hate on my hat.
You never know what Sean's going to show up wearing.
The old Hardy hat.
Francisco, much love.
Hey, we appreciate that.
Yes.
We try to keep it real. We try to, we haven't gotten into the UFO stuff yet because I'm going to be honest with you.
I'm not versed on it.
I don't know enough about it. Like a lot of people have asked us about UFO stuff, and I had to point them to somewhere else.
Before we wrap it up, though.
I sent it to Howie. He knows more about it than I do.
Look, before we wrap it up, though, I do got to leave you guys with a little joke. Whenever we're on a road trip, there's never a dull moment, okay? Oh, that's cool. So Virgil said it's just after 2 a.m. right now. So it's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's after 2 a.m. in England. But funny story. We're driving up the road. I almost wrecked the whole SUV because I just knew, y'all, 100% I saw a UFO. I knew.
Oh, yeah, that was crazy.
This damn thing was like a white flying object, and then it would spontaneously disappear.
That was wild.
And then it would reappear, and then all of a sudden there was two. And I'm like driving like this, looking out the windshield, right? Because I'm like, I know I'm not going crazy. Sean was nodding in and out of sleep.
No, it wasn't. I was looking at my phone.
Worst road trip partner ever.
I was looking at my phone. I was not asleep.
We don't even leave the town before he's asleep. But long story short, I said, finally, I just got up enough courage and I admitted it. I said, Sean, there's an effing UFO in the sky. So Sean said, what the hell are you talking about? I said, look. So he looks and he's like, what the hell? This white unidentified flying object appears and then disappears. Tell me why we look dumb. It was two planes that were circling. This is why, guys.
No, it wasn't we. It was you. I never said it was a UFO.
This is why I don't get into UFOs.
That wasn't we. That was you. You said it was UFO.
We
stop saying
too
we.
far away.
That wasn't we. That was you. I'm the one that said, Courtney, that's a plane.
All right. We love everyone. We send it back out to the community. Yes. Got to follow back.
Yeah, we appreciate all y'all.
Sit in a lawn chair at night in a dark area, no light pollution, and wow. Now, I could do that 10 out of 10 because I'm fascinated with stars and planets. So, yes.
I do that. I sit on the porch, light me up.
I just knew I had a UFO, y'all.
Light me up a good old pipe.
But
pipe tobacco.
With that being said, guys, pop on over. It's about that time. 9 o'clock. Freaking awesome paranormal show on the Rift Nation Network. Ryan Jones, Rhonda Harris will be entertaining for the next hour. Hop on over.
Mom said she would love Mr. Odell's at the Rift Nation to delve into UFO and Sasquatch. They do all the time, Mom.
Yeah, gotta give him a follow. Virgil, much love from the U.S. here. We appreciate you. And until next time, guys, I'm Courtney.
I'm Sean with the Hardy hat.
And we'll see you on the other side.